Holy cow, guys. It took a minute. So, the cats are no longer circling me, meowing viciously and hungrily. I made the mistake of trying to get new health insurance through a website. Because basically, anytime you look for anything insurance related, obviously you get put on some company-wide tree list of please call me multiple times a day. And I've gotten off the call list for many of these, which is very frustrating because some of them are coming in from different states, which is still annoying, but I understand companies do that. But there's this one from Florida that will not only robocall me, this is definitely a robot calling, multiple times in one go. If I don't pick up, it'll call 2 times again right afterwards. But it'll do that constantly through the day. And I've tried, like, several times to tell the AI voice to take me off their list, and it's confirmed several times that it has done that, and then it didn't do that, and I'm getting calls at, like, 10 o'clock at night. I think I got one, like, close to midnight once, which was just phenomenal, just so phenomenal. So I managed to bully my way through the AI to speak to a regular normal person, and she was lovely and was kind enough to hopefully take me off this time, because that was annoying. Even more annoying, I blocked the number, and I would still get notifications for voicemails from the blocked number, which is like, then why is it blocked? What's the point? Anyway, it's hopefully done now, but that was frustrating. Wow. So, anyway, let's get to it. Hey, Madara, I saw that you sent me that. You sent it to me while I was, walking to lunch, and I did not take a look yet. So you know what, tell you what, let me take a look at it right now. Let me just, take a sip of water. I'm worked up, guys. I'm all worked up. Blah, 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 blah. Let's take that privacy screen off. Okay. Let me take a look at your homework. Do you mind, Madara, if I take a look at it on stream, or would you prefer a private feedback? Because I can do that, and that's fine. I just, don't want to put you on the spot if you're not feeling up to it. Yeah, I saw your Sam Keith piece. I thought that looked great. I really like that you're choosing different, like, so many very different artists to pick and choose and learn from. That's awesome. Streams don't make a okay, cool. Alrighty, yeah. Let me take a look. So I just want to, like, ask real quick, because I know that I talked to you about using tracing as a method to kind of get into the head of the artist that you're trying to learn from, and to try to break things down and understand their shape language and, all sorts of other things. Are you... Where did I put my stylus? Are you still also trying to do things, all yours? All you? And I'm not... I'm looking at this one that you have here. Let me see this. Let me just copy it over here. I just want to, first and foremost, your line quality has had some significant growth, which is just really awesome. Like, I see a lot more confidence. I think I mentioned this to you recently, that, like, you're not wavering as much as you were. I really appreciate that you're, like, going in and doing the hard stuff too, like some of the folds and things. And I'd love to see you put some of the stuff that you're learning from, working from other people's pieces into something, like, from start to finish. Yeah, I really like how you approach this one. I will point out, you missed a couple spots. Right here, boink, and right here, boink. I think when you have little bits and bobs kind of float around in here, like these little tiny white specks, that's fine. I think that it can add a lot of energy and texture to a piece. I think it could look really cool, but you just gotta be careful about the big stuff. the other thing I'm noticing is how you're varying your line weight. It's a little inconsistent. There's a few spots where you could push it a little bit more, but it's not like it's well organized. I think you're doing a really good job. So let me get my my handy dandy pen here. So where you can push it, I'll start with this guy right here. You've got an area inside of his face, right in here. Let me get a lighter color. Right in here, where the lines are a little bit thicker. And you have right back up in here, kind of in line with the shadow, right? You've got a little bit thicker there, right? But I think, given that the established logic that you have in here is that it's thick here, it's about the same thickness here, these, at least on the outside, should at least be similar, because it stands to reason that it would be kind of the same as the other two, right? And you can still exaggerate a few spots if you want to. You can thin a few others out if you want to. There's really a million ways you can approach it. That's my only critique on the face right there as far as that's concerned. It does look like your ears are blending in with your hair a little bit, so without looking at a reference, I'm just going to throw something together here. It would be good to at least get those in. What it looks like to me is happening is while the light source is primarily coming from down this way, you know, going up, the way the shadows on her jacket are going is kind of to emphasize, without actually doing any shading, that there's more shadow out here, which is good. And if you keep that up, even just like a little hint here and there, it doesn't have to be a whole lot. I might be overdoing it. I'm going to go ahead and do this in black so that it's a little easier to kind of see what I'm getting at. And I'll look at chat in just a second here. I just want to finish my thought. Oh, we can get rid of that. And I'm doing this very, very loosely. And it wouldn't be everything. No, there we go. It wouldn't be everything. But there we go. And it doesn't have to be a consistent thickness. It should be a consistent ratio. So what I mean by that is, like, for example, in his face, everything on the interior doesn't get any thicker than that, but everything out here, what she has, it goes from that same thickness, and you're allowed to get up to whatever you're established. Permission for that kind of thickness, permission is a really weird word for this, but it's just kind of how I think about it. Permission is given by breaking the ice. And what I mean by that is that once you do one thing somewhere, you can do it again elsewhere. So as an example, with the line thickness, because in her sleeve, this one right here is that thick, and I didn't do that. Let me get rid of the ones that I did do. Because that's there, I now have permission to get that thick elsewhere in that area if I see fit. So let's say maybe I want to get a little bit of her wrinkle there. Perhaps the tip of the elbow would be a good spot for that. I'm just throwing this out there. Definitely the bottom down here. It looks like you were already kind of doing that, and I think you should double down into it. Just like lean into it. So now there's a little bit of balance because I've given this area a couple little buddies to go with it. But now that also means that on her figure, it's the only place where I do that. So now I have to do it elsewhere. So maybe I could throw a little bit out here or here. And I only have to because it would be in line with the lighting. If the light were closer and there was a reason to stay thin over here, that would be the puzzle that I create for myself, right? Pew, 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 pew. But there it is, a little bit of balance. Another example would be if you're going to spot black the tie on each of these characters, you could get away with a little bit more elsewhere. So like maybe a little bit underneath the chin, some spot blacks. Perhaps a little bit, I don't know, like her belt would be not a bad spot. Same with the other two if it's showing. I think shadows would be the safest option. I know that you're working from a reference. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm assuming that you're working from a reference. I'm not so familiar with Chainsaw Man, but I am enough to recognize what it is. And you got their attitudes, like, really nicely. I would maybe go right here too, just because that's overlapping her armpit. But you can start to throw in a little extra depth with just a little bit of extra spot black. Another example would be texture. So the reason why earlier when I mentioned like these little speckles, those work here because you have it pretty consistently across the piece. You've got them out here, they're showing up in the ties. It just kind of fits in with how your line work has been going. And I know that's kind of like incidental to how you're shading it, but like, I mean, it looks cool, so, you know, there's no issue, right? And in the same vein, there's a little bit of this cross-hatching in the ties, where you have these little grids going. So again, you could get away with a little bit of that elsewhere. So let's just say maybe, like down here by her horns, maybe like a little bit. I'm just picking and choosing based off of, like, plausibility. I don't think hair would be good for that, because once you start adding in crossing, it sort of stagnates things. And hair's very fluid, so I think staying in line with it would look best. But that's an opinion. Some people do all sorts of things with line work and make it look really cool. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Like, I think that you were asking if you should do it another time or another time, like multitudes. The only reason why I would say yes is if you want to, and you feel like you're gonna get something out of redoing it or doing it again and again. And there's reason for that. It could, sometimes doing the same piece more than once will give you a new approach each time, or maybe the challenge is about something different. So like, maybe on this one you're playing with lighting and line weight, but maybe on the next one you're focused on color, but you're still redoing the whole thing. And maybe on the third one you're, I don't know, focused on doing the same picture but in a different style. Like, they're just different breakdowns, right? And even just doing it again and again over and over, it's still study. So the answer is yes, but only if you feel like it, because, you know, it's not like, it's not the kind of homework where I'm gonna be like, you're getting an F, and I'm sending you to your room, and, no recess, no breakfast until, you get it 100% right. I had an art teacher who would tell us, horror stories from his time in college when, there was a wall of shame. So if the art teacher did not like your figure studies, he would put the artwork on the wall of shame, and sometimes he would tear it up. We don't do that in my house. Unless it's funny. But it wouldn't be funny here. And most of the time it wouldn't be. And pretty much the only time it would be funny is if I do it to my own thing. Anyway, I've been staring at the picture on the other screen, so take a look. Okay, being 5. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, ears are weird. Something that can be, what's it called? Addressed, studied, what have you. Tell you what, when you get back, I'll go over the ears with you, because ears are interesting. I actually like drawing ears a lot. I know I'm saying this to an empty room now, but I don't know. Sometimes people watch it again later. Hello, future viewer! Hang on, I got a message. Is it important? No. No, it is not. Okay. It was spam. So much spam! Okay, cool. So, today, I'm a little bit behind here. I had wanted to... Is this misaligned? Sorry, I'm just looking at my tablet. No, it's fine. I'm just crazy. Okay. I went out to get lunch, and it took way longer because I had to walk there, and then there was a person, there were 2 groups in line in front of me, and each group took forever to order. The first group was just, I think, unsure, and they were discussing, and the second group came in with the first group, and there was like a language barrier issue. The woman at the counter was trying to explain what the sides were, and the woman asking was like, okay, yeah, but are there cucumbers? And she didn't know what the what the Spanish word for cucumber was, which is fair. I don't know what it is either. But she spent some time trying to, like, figure it out enough to try to get her point across that she would like cucumbers on the side, please. That sounds really good because it's hot out. And they got very conversational. It was really cute, though. Like, she definitely was, like, she was trying to be so polite, but also, like, please. Please, I want cucumbers. And I'm sitting behind her, like, please. Please, I want a burrito. I need cabeza, please. I haven't had it in so long. Sweet, sweet cabeza. This is the first time I've had it at this restaurant. I was really stoked when I saw that they had it because my favorite taco place before the last time that I moved, so like before I lived in Hollywood. Hang on one second. Their cabeza. Oh man, it was so good. I don't know what they're putting in this one. It's not the same. Like, it's the same texture. It's still slow-cooked meat, and it's very, like, fatty and heavily seasoned and just really delicious. It's just not the same flavor. Like, theirs is, it's herbier. It's almost a little bit, it's almost a little curry. Like, it's just, I don't know what spice it is, but it was very delicious. I still think I prefer the other cabeza more, but I think this is my favorite meat at this place so far. Their asada was fine, but I don't think pineapples in Virginia taste very good. This makes me sad. It makes me so sad. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get rid of that. Nope, I know what that is. Do. Okay. Okay. So, I think what I'm gonna do to get this is play a little bit of a dressing game. So I'm going to make her blah. Let's make her blah. How about yes? And yes. I guess non-photo blue would be paler and more cyan. There we go. Let's go with that. Okay. And and yep, there we go. Lastly, I need to get rid of these lines because I'm moving that hand from there so it won't be sticking up out of her shoulder. The music today is from SoundCloud artist Seth Boyed. I follow him on Instagram as an illustrator. I came across some of his cartoons or like illustrations and paintings and things, and they're really cool. And then one day he's like, "Yeah, I wrote a whole album. It's based off of a video game that doesn't exist. I just wanted to make music for a game, so I made one up." And the art is fantastic. It's really cool. And B, so's the music. And he was kind enough to give me permission to play this while I stream, because I was listening to it the other day and I was like, oh god, I could put this on. Alas, DMCA. Oh, DMCA. So I just asked him. And he was really cool about it. It was very nice. As I say in the description, I would link it, but unfortunately, YouTube doesn't think I'm a person yet, so I can't link it. But, in the future, I hopefully will. That's a little loud. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down for me and for you. Welcome back! Okay. How does that sound on your end? Because that was really loud for me. Okay. So let's take a look here. How can I adjust? So I'm first going to get rid of the things that we already decided are a no-go. Hello? Why aren't we doing? Oh, because I'm on the wrong tool. That's why. Okay. There we go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, no worries, Badara. You take your time. If you have any questions, just let me know. Oh, you're probably listening to that right now. Me saying anything at the moment won't matter because you'll be done by the time that you hear it. Time traveler! You're traveling through time. Don't mind me. Do. Do I want to keep... No, let's get rid of it. So, we liked the silhouette. It was looking pretty good. But it wasn't... It was too, like, normal human being police officer. So, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to make her look like a space cop from space! Which shouldn't be too difficult. I already had a really good, sort of a direction. I doubted myself was the problem. Never doubt yourself. You're always right about everything. Always. Every time. Doubt is for the weak. Ah, there we go. Oh, you're doing both? Okay. Nice. That's kind of fun, actually. That's cool. Man, I can't get cozy. I made the mistake of eating all that burrito at the same time. It was a big burrito. I'm not like 22 anymore. I can't just hork it down. I shouldn't either. There we go. Okay. We'll keep that there. We'll keep him there. I need that one up because it's got better lines. Let's go bigger. Whoop! Okay. So my original idea was, basically the kind of logo, monogram, whatever you want to call it, representation of the, space marshals that, you know, Jane works for, is this sort of twinkly star. My thought was that it was just a good way to have, you know, cop star without it being too genuinely, you know, on the nose. It seems spacier, okay? So the idea was that, it'd be represented as the long arm of the law if by having the arms of the star going down her shoulders and then also down her front and back. I stepped away from that because I wondered if maybe it looked a little bit too, not cop enough, maybe a little bit too, superhero. Whoa, do we believe in miracles, baby? Hang on, I need something a little bit less, Let's see. Let's listen to this one. Yes. Crossing the Divide. The whole album, please. Story Mountain by Seth Boyed. Yeah. Just gonna bring this into view here for a second. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boo. This guy. Is it showing? Yep, okay, good. Look at this. Look at this watercolor. It's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop geeking out about other people's art now and get back to my job. Whoop! Okay. When it came to the big Russian, Yes, I was working with a reference and I was using illustration of a frame of the Chainsaw Man movie. Excellent. From the opening. I will also say that when it came to like this big black shadow, I only drew Aki Silhouette, the one that has all the white dots, but not truly is what I wanted to see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the bucket tool does that. If you've got a little bit of gray, it still counts it as something. Any opacity, it'll show. And that's kind of across the board. I think the only time it doesn't do that is if you're using vector, and I think even then, I don't think you can use a bucket tool with vector. I could be wrong, but I also don't use vector, so I don't know. But yeah, even on mine, and I'm at like 600 DPI, like I'm working very big, and it still happens. But that's actually partly why I work very big, because when you print it out, it just looks like that, and it's fine. But that's also why I care about the DPI, is because I'm printing, or at least, you know, proofing for printing in the future. So let's see here. I should probably be looking at some Star Trek costumes and see if I can come up with something as slick as that. This doesn't feel too bad. I don't hate this. Wondering if maybe I made her post too casual, because this sort of confident stance here, like she's still on the job even though she's taking a photo at a party, might, you know. Hey, that'd be cool, man. Hello? Little window thing. Go away, thank you. Okay. I'm just gonna doodle with this and see what I come up with, because it might end up being cool. So what I think I'm going to do today is come up with a few different outfits to send to the writer, Adrian, and see what he thinks. Assuming he's not watching currently. I don't think I've ever said, because I don't think it ever dawned on me, really. I know that he sometimes watches while he's also busy, because, you know, he has a life. Unlike me. But if you're listening, you're welcome to join the chat. Come say hello. But also, if you see any observations while I work, Adrian, if you're ever watching this, and you have like a live comment, like you're just thinking to yourself like, oh man, I really enjoyed this or that, you're welcome to like share it at any point. Just because I think, like, I don't know, I know there's probably potentially, and not that I'm, you know, putting words in, like, in your mouth, but I could understand the potential, like, oh, what if I'm directing too much or whatever. But, like, I don't know, if something comes up, if you're like, ooh, that hand looks like a duck, you know, just tell me. That would be a weird thing if I made a hand look like a duck. I don't know. I think I'm just rambling now a little bit. We do bite. There is also that, so, I'm sorry. I mean, you're welcome to come anyway. But we do bite. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? I stiffened her up. That was... She looks... I don't know. Uncomfortable. Ooh, you know what? Oh, I just had an idea. What if? What? color down the sides. So we have, I think it need to be pointy just to fit the theme. Triangles down the sides? Maybe the stripes are good enough. I just kind of like the big block that it creates on the side here. I don't know. It kind of fits the flow here. I'm gonna keep it for now. You know, it's a conversation thing, so I'll keep it. Her neck looks a little thick here. There we go. Excellent, excellent, and have fun doodling Conan. I have some reference. Help me out with the inking and deciding if it's going to be my own. Because I've not inked traditionally in a while. That's fair. I think ink is really interesting. Both traditionally and digitally. So first off, the distinction that I made in one of the workshops, I still stand by. Line work and inking, while used interchangeably, are not the same thing. Inking implies that you're actually putting down a permanent black line, so technically, since I'm digital, this is line work, because I can do this, and I can do this. And inking is specifically inking. Anybody who says that you're painting while you're using colored pencils is wrong. Unless you're doing something to make the colored pencils mimic painting, which can be done. But line work is anything that you do to create your lines. And it can be loosey-goosey, just sort of throwing something together like these sketches I have over here. Or it can be tightened and organized. And if you want to kind of find an example of something highly organized, look at Alphonse Mucha. He's not a comic artist. He's actually, like, quite old. He's an Art Nouveau. Hang on. I'll look him up. Because he's kind of primarily where I get a lot of my choices from, is, let me see if I can get, yeah, here we go. Copy. Okay. It's where I get a lot of my logic from, anyway. Obviously, stylistically, not even close to the same thing. Though I do take notes from his work here and there. But, one of the things that you'll notice that he does, no matter the color of the line, because that doesn't matter. I mean, it does. It matters very much. But I mean, like, it doesn't matter for what I'm saying. Let me find a clearer version of the same piece, because I think this is like a recoloring or something. Oh, here's a close-up. Ah, beautiful. Okay, we'll use this one. Copy image. And paste. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. New. Create. Come on. Create new. Okay. You see what happens here. The paint that he used, which I'm assuming is a dye. I don't actually know. It could just be watercolor, but it just seems so clean. Not that watercolor isn't clean. It definitely is. But you'll notice there's a pattern of how thick he'll get in one area. Oh. Let's use a pen. How about? So thick. And then the moment that line goes to the interior of the thing, whatever the thing is, the form, it'll thin out. Just an immediate taper. And some of it will still vary. You can see in here. Whoopsies. Uh-oh. You'll see in here some of it varies. Like this one gets a little bit thicker before it gets thinner again. In here it does the same thing. Other ones don't do that. These are all pretty much monolined over here. Some of them get thicker just because there's more of them kind of colliding. And then some of them will open up. And then while they don't get as thick as the absolute exterior of the full figure, because they are the exterior of the hair, even though there's either more hair or her skull underneath it, it's a little bit thicker than everything else because of that reason. And you'll see him do that all over the place, like over here. Gets a little bit more detailed in the eyes because he wants you to look at them, but there's other places, but I'd have to look at the whole piece. So he only returns to that thickness on the outside when whatever he's working on becomes part of that outside. Like, look at this forehead. Let me turn this down a little bit. So it's got this medium line, medium, and thick. And it continues to stay thick. And then here it kind of splits. And it gets really thin, but it continues to be thick. And a little bit over here, same thing. And then it continues to be thick. And then up, it splits again. But now where it's splitting, the exterior's following the hair. And the rest of the face, it gets a little medium again. And it stays that medium for a while. And so that's the pattern, is like, it's not the separate shape of the things that are coming together. It's the separate shape of the things when they hit the outside. Personally, I mix the two. I like having a clear and obvious representation of where something like the hair might overlap the face. And he does that too, it's just not to the same extent as everything on the outside. I feel like if you don't do that, if you only have really thin or really thick, it makes it look like a sticker. It's a preference thing. Some artists do that and they find a lot of balance. Like, Frank Miller does that, I think. I might be thinking of something else. But his work is very high contrast. There's either a lot of little lines or big old blotchy spots. I'm getting distracted, but I think this is relevant to our previous conversations. Man, whoever colors his work does him dirty. This watercoloring, it looks great though. I'll copy this. Bile. Quick new. Yeah, that watercolor looks awesome. That's a good choice. His stuff's very chaotic. You can see, like, he breaks a lot of the quote-unquote rules that I make. Like, here is really thin and then really thick. And then less thin and really thick. It's thick over here, but thin over here, and then the stuff in front here starts to kind of collide with it, and it kind of flattens it. But the reason why that works is because he's got these big black spots in between those little pieces, and so it separates it, like there's a shadow behind it. I love these doodly little movements he has, too. I think they look really cool. It's a really angry-looking horse. Can we go away, window? Jeez. Anyway, distractions aside, moving right along. But Alphonse Mucha. Mucha's spelled like matcha. It's Mucha. He's Belgian? I don't remember where he's from. Okay. Do not save. Okay. Back to it. Yes. That looks like a pirate hat. Let's try a little bit less sailor. Bum, bum, bum. Len Varley. Yeah, well, they did a good job. I saw a breakdown once. I'll have to find it and share it in the Discord, where somebody went over specifically the different ways that Frank Miller's work has been colored, and what he believes is maybe the best practice in going, to meet his colors in a way that actually like work with the inks that he does, like the same sort of graphic, pulpy look. You can't color it the same way you do every stereotypical superhero comic with the big gradients and stuff. It just doesn't work because there's no real form in his work. There is when he feels like it, and there isn't when he feels like it, and it's very chaotic. And so going in with the idea of like, well, that's an arm, so it needs to be shiny, is just not a good way to go about it. You miss out on such opportunity to make it look like grungy and weird, which is good. Oh, yeah, alcohol markers are awesome. Um, Honestly, comic coloring is another really wide topic. In my personal opinion, uh, having never colored an entire comic book, really have to throw that out there. Um, it's you have to treat it a lot like the whole page is an illustration. Um, Obviously, that's not entirely true, but I feel like one of my favorite things about Pixar movies is it's somebody's job to go in there and color key the entire movie before they actually start applying color to the movie. And what a color key is essentially they have these big boards that show all the major parts of all the major scenes, and they go through and they figure out the storytelling all the way across the board. They do all these really brightly, intricately colored thumbnails, and they do it for the whole film. Um, and I think that because color can be a really important part of storytelling, once you introduce it, it has to be. Um, if you don't have it, obviously you don't need it, but the moment that you introduce it, you have to be very careful how you place it, because it can really make or break a scene. Because if something very tense is happening, but the color and the art doesn't match, it can feel very flat. Um, or if there's like a detail that you spend too much time on that's not really necessary, but you're like, but realistically it would be like this, but the rest of the thing, like if it doesn't matter, you'll notice. It'll be noticeable. I'm rambling again. I feel like I have thoughts on this that I'll be able to articulate more once I actually get coloring. Um, which I will be doing soon, actually. I've got my own comic down the line I'll be doing. I'm working on my, on reestablishing. I have to I have to rewrite parts of it. I don't know why it took me so long to remember the word right. Um, and then, and that one I'm doing in color. And then, I have a family project I'm doing. My grandfather had been a comic book artist as well, and I'm going to be coloring one of his books, kind of for fun. So, as I finish that, I'll be more willing to answer that question, like how to do that. I have my theories, I have my methods, but I would like to have more experience before I like definitively say this is how you do that thing. Plus, I learned the other day that maybe I do well with planning, and maybe I should just plan it. Maybe I should tone down her calves, because that's not a bad silhouette here. Yeah, coloring digitally is a lot of fun. You know what could be something enjoyable? Um, considering that you have a marker set that you enjoy, um, it would be potentially very helpful if you were to make yourself a swatch. So you take each of your marker colors and you just give yourself a rectangle, and you take a good photo of it, or if you have a scanner, you scan it, and just color drop each of those. You can save yourself a palette made from those colors. Um, I just started doing that. You can't really see it here. This is not done, but I used to have a full palette for the Prismacolor pencils. And that was really fun. That was cool. And I love Prismacolor pencils. It's worth considering. I will be right back. I'll be right back. I just need to use the restroom. Gonna mute myself. Me, I'm back. Me, I'm back and ready to rumble. Almost want to put this hoodie on because it's chilly in here and I don't want to get back up again. So let me just put this hoodie on. This thing's huge. Yes. I have it. We're good. Okay. Did I bring a hairband? No, I didn't bring a hairband. That's okay. That's okay. I will live. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. Where's my glove? There it is. Me, I'm sleepy. Me, I'm no why. I have no idea. I would like to not be sleepy any longer. I feel like I just can't get over it though. Like I've had sleepy bitch syndrome for God, like a couple of weeks now. I went to bed at a reasonable hour for the last couple of nights. And alas, still no. Okay, looking up some references here, so don't mind my boring screen while I look up Star Trek uniforms. Somebody has to have all of them, right? Oh shoot, those are some good ones. Okay. Alright. Okay. Somebody has this sort of sharp-shouldered, thin-pointed collar, and then the classic Star Trek color two-tone. And there's a shirt underneath. And I like that. The collar here, so why don't I try? Why don't I give that a go? Just a little go. Just a little bit of a... Just a little... What layer is that? This one. Okay, why didn't it do what I wanted? Okay, so let's try this. Actually, let's try this. I think sometimes I get too caught up in the anatomy of things and I end up with something stiff, so I'm hoping that by doing it this way I'll keep some of this, like, nice fluidity that she's got. Oh, excuse me, sorry. So many yawns, I just can't help it. Wow, there are a lot of different Star Trek outfits. I feel like I knew that there would be, but at the same time, that 90s... like Picard outfit with the colored body but the blackened shoulder, I think had a permanent fixture that I just assumed that they were all like that. I've only ever really watched the movies. Like, I watched one of the new ones, the first one, and then I watched, Wrath of Khan. Oh geez, I definitely watched a couple of the other ones, but they're all kind of blending together a little bit. Oh, see? Somebody got ahead of me. Look at this. I was literally... Come on. I was right. Ah, darn. I just had it coming down from the wrong spot. Okay. Well, that's fine. It's better that I don't do the same thing, obviously. So, speaking of not doing the same thing, la-di-da-di-da. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. That's good to know. Thank you for the Star Trek recommendation. Imperial Commander. That's the thing though. I don't want her to look too much like too military, because again, like she's a police officer. This is supposed to be her like formal uniform for a formal event. And so I'm trying to maintain a little bit of that. And I know there's like arguably a not much of a difference between cop and military, but there's enough of one, you know. And I mean aesthetically. I don't mean like obviously there's a difference between a police officer and a Marine. Like even if it was a cop who used to be a Marine, there's still a difference. The job was different, for one thing. I can only imagine the training is different. Because the job is different. Okay, I put her elbows super low. I'm giving her like huge forearms in this. I gotta be careful. I saw this really nice runway blazer that had this like kind of swooping thing, and I kind of dig that for like a two-tone thing. So if I were like, if she's got shirt and then this, it's not terrible. Let's see. Maybe like something chap adjacent. It just feels a little weird. Ah, okay, so you mean, yeah, I remember that hat. I was about to say I don't think I've ever seen anybody in Star Trek wear a hat, but then I went past... I don't know her name, but she's got like a headdress. Was it? Am I insane? Was Whoopi Goldberg on Star Trek? Hang on. Oh, she was! Oh, she's the hat lady! Okay. Yeah, she wears many hats. They are all very silly. It's like a little flying saucer on her head. I kind of like... It almost gives this kind of like Halo aesthetic, which I think is kind of cool. I will not be giving Jane this hat, though, because it does not ring authority in the same sense that one would want for a police officer. That rings like diplomatic authority. That's different. She's too elegant. But let's get back to Star Trek uniforms. Oh, what happened? Oh, geez, what did I do? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Star Trek. Let's see here. I guess I kind of like this wider collar that sort of hangs off. Oh, you know what? Okay. This was an idea. This looks like, I don't think this is Data. It looks like an action figure of somebody that they did dirty, so it kind of looks like Data. They have this kind of coming down. Yeah, almost like the pockets are a different color. This is kind of cool. Okay, I can see that. I think for this one, that flare at the knees still looks pretty cool. But what if this is a wrapping? No, that seems out of place. Perhaps a different kind of wrapping, though. Like buttons, perhaps? Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, okay. And those, like, yeah, like those swing dance, like, what are they called? Spats? Big, tall spats. Okay. Spats are cool. Why did they go out of fashion? I always thought they were not. I guess because of sneakers, maybe. People just don't wear dress shoes like that as a regular thing. Okay. So let's scoosh it. Oop, wrong one. Let's scoosh. There, you. Okay. And put you back in place. Ow. Da 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 da. Okay, so let's try that wide collar. And we'll just have it be kind of reminiscent of her jacket, just a little bit slicker. It's not too bad, actually. It almost looks like a winter coat in a way, which is, again, maybe not the point, because it's like, this is the uniform she wears to accept an award for coolest cop. But I don't know, it feels, it's the most police officer looking one so far. Maybe like a big belt. I'm gonna have a repeat of her usual belt buckle. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, this is looking not too bad. Is it Sonic music? I don't think it is. Oh, it is. Why am I listening to Sonic music? Who is playing? This isn't even... That's not even the same artist. Why is SoundCloud doing me dirty by sending me to somebody new? I don't even like that very much. I was just ignoring it. Oh. Oh. I don't like that at all. Bring me back. Let's just, remove. And... remove. And... Hello? Hello? I can't remove? Are you kidding? Oh, because I'm on it. Okay. Let's go back to our main man. Sethba. And we'll listen to Here and Far, an electric phonic journey. Thank you. And oh my gosh, look at him. Look at him. He's perfect. I love him so much. Look, he's got a little Game Boy. And a treasure chest. And a face that says, "You can't adopt me. I literally have a job. But I wanna." Look at him. Anyway, I think we're good for at least a few minutes. Most of his songs are fairly short, so I think that's maybe what's throwing me off. Okay. Back to it. Okay. You know what would look really good? Make it look, real cop-like. It's just like a random chain. I was looking at some, historical police officer uniforms. And there was a group of women in London, I want to say, who their uniform was like a big long skirt and a nice overcoat and some kind of like pocket watch that came across on the top here. But I think if I put one anywhere, perhaps it would make the most sense. Down here? Like a little chain. Oh shoot. Oh dang. Why do those tiny rectangles make it look more cop? Why? Do all cops have that chest pocket? I think that's why. It's like that. And you know what? I'm still gonna put this arm down because I'm lazy and I don't want to draw it. Oh, you know what? Maybe instead of big long boots, it's just slack pants. It can still look a little bit like a real cop. It can't be too much. Dang it, it's actually super good. Okay. Oh darn, I'm good at my job. Oh no. What's wrong with me? Why am I so tired? Okay, blah 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 blah. Turn this off here. Yeah, okay. I think I should do one more just to cover my bases. You know what? I'm gonna try to give each of these different pants too, just so that way there's some variety. Because that's responsible design, okay? To give each one something to pick and choose from. The only thing that shouldn't change too much is the hat, because we're in agreement on the hat. Okay. Keep that on. I don't know what that is. Is it you? I can turn that off. Okay, cool. Let's see. I've also seen this sort of like forward lapel that goes underneath the actual lapel, and that's reminiscent enough of this sort of shoulder pattern kind of sort of armor that I've been giving them. Oh, maybe Boss Babe shoulder pads. Uh-oh, guys. She's gonna arrest you, and it's gonna be great. This feels maybe a little too Admiral. It's the hat, though. It's definitely the hat. It's so big. Let's make that smaller, maybe. Same idea, less height. Yeah. Like, I want her to look like she's confident, but she's not necessarily, like, a 5-star general, you know? Like, she's genuinely just gonna cuff you and book you. It's not the same thing as launch the torpedoes. I don't love that. Okay. Alright. Gotta look at more things, gotta take in some more flavors and come up with more ideas. Why is everybody in this Star Trek Discovery cast, why are they all holding hands? Wait, yeah, are they all holding hands? Is it like a space polycule? Are they in space love, the entire group? There's gotta be like a story context reason for everybody on that crew. For the... which one was it? I already forgot. Discovery to all be holding hands. Like an empath alien thing, or telekinetic thing, or our space love will save the space stars from the space black hole thing. That'd be kind of funny. I would absolutely watch a show that's like definitively, not even speculatively, just about a space polycule. I just think it'd be fun. Arguably, that's Firefly, but I mean, they're still in space denial about their space polycule. Okay, so I'm seeing this armpit thing that I kind of like. I think it's a lot like, I've seen some army uniforms have like a rope go around there. But this sort of shape that it creates, I'm going to emphasize that shoulder because, again, like, that's one of the things I've been enjoying about that. And this will kind of look a little bit like Rodney's design, too. Sorry, Rory. Rodney's a completely different name. Rory's the robot. He's in the photo. And theirs just goes right around. Okay. Is that too... Does that look like a life vest, though? I feel like it looks like a life vest. Maybe with the collar, it does. Yeah. Yeah, it was the collar. I mean, this doesn't help either. This does look a little bit like if she were to crash land an airplane into the ocean, that she'd survive by floating upon her jacket. There's... yeah, a little more streamlined. Maybe if I make it just a little less extreme. So it's just a little point. Yeah, it's just a little pointy. She's a boss babe, but she's not like that boss babe. She's like reasonably boss babe. She's like comfortable. She's grounded in her boss babedom. She doesn't have to prove anything to you. That's why her shoulder pads are humble. It's because she is humble. I don't know how anybody can spend more than 5 minutes with me. I gotta be honest. I talk like this on a normal basis. There we go. I woke up late the other day, and my partner had gone to work, and the very first thing that I send to him, the very first communication I have with the love of my life, is I text him asking him, "Do you think bugs can overeat and get fat?" He never responded to me, but I kept going because I looked into this. And I went, oh, it turns out that yes, they can. The problem is that their bug bodies are not made for expanding the same way that skin and fat in mammal flesh is. So they don't really expand, they just get denser. But sometimes certain bugs with certain ailments, whether it's a parasite or boredom, I don't think boredom, but anyway, they can overeat, and some can get so dense that they end up being unable to fly because they're too much, and sometimes they can develop tiny bug diabetes, which is different than other diabetes, but it's diabetes-like. So there's your fun fact for the day, listener. There you go. Ah, okay. Important note, important message. It's the chime you just heard. Okay. Uniform looking good. Back to more recognizable police hat. Pull away from military. Back to police. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Yes. Awesome. Also, hi. Yeah. Tall a little much. I think. So, you know what? Let me just respond to this really quick because it's relevant to the designs I'm moving forward on. One sec. Bottom suit, skirt thing. Yeah, yeah, okay. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna give this one a belt, but for some reason, this sort of one suit almost kind of works. But what if? What if? Okay. You know what? I like the softer corner here. That's kind of nice. I wasn't expecting it to. I thought that maybe it would be too contrasted with the rest of the shapes here so far, but I think that it manages to pinch this triangle in a way that's close enough to that. Would it be annoying if I made it sharp, though? I think what makes it nice with the curve is that the bottom is automatically going to curve because it's the opening of the coat, but that's good too, though. I'm gonna keep this one. I think I like the rounded one more, but I'm gonna keep this one because it makes stylistically a little bit more sense. Let me just finish up my... There we go. Good curves. Talking to myself. Da da da. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then slacks. And you know what? Let's keep up that two-tone. Double tones. And you know what? Why don't I take this opportunity to figure out our black and white balance now. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick because my partner's coming home and I want to say hello. So, I'm here, but hang on. Okay, so I've got to send a screen cap of what I just worked on. I was on mute because I was also talking to my partner, and then also I got some texts from uh, Adrian about the design choices. So you saw me like taking notes at the same time. So um, just wanted to focus on that for a minute. I think we have it. Yeah. So like, I think this might be it. I really like this one, but that looks like she's going to something like a corporate meeting or something. Like she's representing something different. Like this looks like office job cop to me, where this looks like I probably go on the street a lot of the time kind of cop, where this one looks like I am in the military currently kind of a cop, and this one is uh just cool. It's just cool. I like the extra spikes. It doesn't fit her. It's just very high fashion. Um but there's aspects of all of them. So I think this second one here on the left, I think that's our one. Um, my thoughts on this are I'm using some of the same design choices from her usual outfit. Like I've got the metal shoulder pads. We've got the white collar with the same exact belt design, like belt loops. Um, and then the boots, where her boots, while are more active wear, they've got the same basic idea where it's like black and white with the clip rectangles. So I think this is it. I think this is it. It's not too military. It's not too cop. It's not too formal. It's not too casual. I like it. So, oh, and of course the badge. Ba 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 badge, 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 badge. Pew 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 pew. Big old badge right there. Not in her armpit, not on her boob, but just in that weird little spot right there. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. This is not a great place for it, but for the sake of like getting the idea down, I think this is fine. If I were handing this to somebody else, I'd be a lot cleaner, but this is just me as far as who is drawing this file and the future files. It's me. I answer to only one. Why am I not erasing? Okay. Hello. Give me my plus sign, please. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gotta make that smaller, but I think we've got it. Okay. Cool. Good. I'm happy with that. My phone glitched out. So I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna get some water because I ran out. But I'll be back. Hey, how you doing, Mike? I'm stepping away for just like 2 minutes to pour myself a glass of water. See you in a second. I'm just gonna mute. I'm gonna mute the mic. Enjoy these ambient tunes, bruh. Also, take this opportunity to save your files, bruh. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have my water. I just took a second to check in with my partner since he got back from work just now. Okay, hello. Hi. Hello, where's my glove? There it is. Okie dokie. Let's get these guys all merged, yes. And this one, stolen. Stolen. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. I was worried that she would still be kind of too small. Yeah, so, let me show you. I'll show you. Okay. We have consistent weekly check-ins, and, because we had some ideas, based on our earlier check-in today, we ended up texting a little bit back and forth mid-stream as well because he was watching. So this is not just concepts. This is... I should have done concept first, to be honest, but I think I was just jumping in because it helps me think about it. This is for a whole picture, a whole group photo of... Where is he? Not weird. This one and that one. Why is that one missing so many parts? Oh, it's because it's underneath that one. Yeah, okay. Ah, there he is. Okay. That's the hat. I don't need that anymore. Bring this all up. It's, an important group photo. She's supposed to be wearing, like, formal uniform, where in the rest of the comics so far she's not been wearing anything formal, just her work uniform. Hang on. Sorry, I went on a walk earlier, and I still feel dehydrated. I didn't even go that far, I just went uphill. Anyway, so, I needed to make sure that she had something, and then when I finished, we were both looking at it like, is it too earthen? Is it too obviously earthling? Can we make it spacier? So that's what I was doing, was making her uniform spacier, because I'll be making everybody else wearing the same uniform to some degree of dishevelment or another. Which is fun. It's good. I gotta fix his head, though, because that chin is round. And also we went with a different angle. Even though... Oh, I gotta fix that mouth, though. I made his nose bigger, too. That's next. That's next on the list. So let's get... What was I doing? Click. Not that one. That one. With that one. Click. Okay. What if I do this? Aw, boo. 9 o'clock? Don't bakeries usually open up early for, like, breakfast? I don't know. I could definitely go for a cinnamon roll at 6 in the morning. Ugh. I'm gonna make a copy of this so I don't lose it forever. Because there's parts of this that work and parts of it I feel like maybe don't. I like the sketch face better, though. Okay. Okay, okay. Yep, yep. That was my thoughts. I'm worried if the proportions look weird next to the other human here. I'm gonna commit anyway. And then compare, because then I'll have something cleaned up I can actually work with, rather than sitting here speculating. Gross. Didn't like that. I'm overthinking this. Her face looks fine. Get that shit out of here. She got a jaw, though. I'll clean it up. I'll just clean it up. I don't need to redo it. I just need to clean it up. It's a simple cleanup, too. Just swing. And swing. Ta-da! Oh, okay. Well, have fun. Goodbye! I may end up with a little bit of a short stream. Just because, I need to go and get some stuff for dinner soon. Which one's more accurate? I think the line work one is more accurate. Some thinner lines, I can commit later. Ha 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 ha, yes. Okay. Just gonna redo her legs. That's fine. I only spent my entire life on it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry, my phone's loud. Ah, Patreon news. Currently unimportant. Okay. This is very chaotic. Why does it keep wanting me to listen to Sonic? I don't understand. I don't even like Sonic. Like, I don't dislike Sonic. I'm indifferent towards Sonic. I'm more positive about Sonic than I'm negative. Let's put it that way. I'm just not a... Mega Man music's better, okay? Alright. Okay. Oh. Cyborg. Oh, that's cute. I'll show you Cyborg. Look at him. He has a big whole hum. Big sad. Okay, alright, back at it. Doing my thing. Being productive, yes. That's what I'm doing, that's what you're doing, that's what we're doing. Productive. God, it's so nice digitally to be this flexible. I can imagine what it was like being a comic book artist working analog, and having somebody stop by their office, their studio, and say, "Hey, can we just do this whole page again, but with a different hat? Can you just give them a different hat?" Like, yikes. Yeah, but no. Why can't I get the line that I want? Okay. Ooh, this is a charming song. Let's see. Huh? You got me, Sonic. Doomsday Zone. I don't understand how this works. I don't want it to autoplay. Okay. Well, I'm out of music choices for now. I know the direction I gotta take this in. I think I might desperately need caffeine. I'm yawning like crazy. So it's been a short stream, about 2 hours. It's not too bad. I now know the design I want to do. I'm gonna follow up with this later tonight, but I think I just need to like allow myself to be dead. So I'm gonna do that. More work to do. I'll be cramming because I've got a lot to take care of. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I also have a pretty fun meeting. I have a garden plot, and we're gonna go get the keys tomorrow, and I get to meet some of the other gardeners. And I'm like really excited about it. So I'm gonna do that in the morning at noonish, and then when I get back and my hands are dirty, we'll get to drawing. But I'll be streaming tomorrow, and I might stream this weekend, but I'm definitely streaming on Monday. So anybody here, there you go. Now you know. Anybody not here, you're lost.